it. Why don't they write letters? Are we not creating a monster by allowing kids to hide behind the anonymity that social media sites allow?
That really is the big monster, and that's a huge conversation unto itself. But children today are really viewing being connected as a right. We know it's a privilege, but it's sort of like driving and adults. A lot of people think driving is a right when we know it's a privilege.
Sure.
So it is really becoming, in the adolescent development now, a cornerstone of their development. It scares me to death, but by the same token, you are establishing your children a little bit as a social pariah by leaving them out of it. Now, clearly, I don't want my children to have their accounts. In fact, our rule in the house right now is 16, and that's certainly what we're shooting for. But nevertheless, you're starting to see the pressure at an earlier age, and you're starting to see children getting more devious about it. In fact, when you start to look at some of the reports, the Girl Scouts did a survey with their girls in 2002, and 54% of the girls said that they could conduct a cyber relationship without their parents ever even knowing about it. 60% said that they could read their parents' email at any time. And 86% of the girls polled said that they could chat online without their parents ever even knowing about it. So, these tools are around, whether it's the computer, whether it's the iPad or pad computer or the desktop in the house, and our kids are using them whether we think they are or not.
So we're allowing our kids to be very devious and very sneaky because of modern technology.
Well, yeah, I don't know that we're necessarily allowing it, but we're certainly making it easier. And certainly I recommend there's some tools out there you could use. You asked about the protection earlier. There is you've heard Net Nanny for years. Well, there's a social Net Nanny now that really does. In fact, it's called Net Nanny Social. Really a great tool that parents could put on their computers, and it monitors all that stuff. So put it on your own computer in addition to your kids, and it goes on the computer, it goes on the iPhone, it goes on the Android phone, it goes on the pads and all of that. And that way you could track what's going on. And not only tracking, obviously, your own accounts, because they may get on there and play games with that, but also tracking whatever activity that they have. And that's certainly one of the better ways to do it, because one of the things that's going to happen at a certain age is if you've got those tools in the house, they're going to use them.
But once again, my main concern is what is going to happen to the art of communication with these kids who spend, I would say, 70% of their day looking down at a little keypad and texting. What is going to happen when they have to go out into the real world and talk to people face to face?
Well, the biggest issue when they do more of their social development at a young age on these tools is they don't recognize all of the social cues that, during that age and what they're going through get to be more recognizable. So they're a little bit behind in that development. But from some other areas, what's happening is because of some of the things that happen on social media sort of levels the playing field. It doesn't matter if you're a CEO or if you're a 15-year-old kid. The conversation and the power to communicate is the same in either one's hands. So what it's allowing them to do is it's allowing them to voice their feelings, their thoughts, and their questions more openly, and they are. And as a matter of fact, when we talk about the psychologists, that's the good thing that they're seeing about it.
But we're also not hearing the inflection in the words, and many times words and sentences and conversations are being misinterpreted because you can't hear what the person is actually saying.
And it's creating, not only the cyberbullying problems, but a lot of problems in real life because of that issue.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, I look at some of these Facebook pages, and I don't want to know what you had for breakfast. I don't need to know why you're getting in your car and you're going to take a trip. Like, what does this tell you about the mentality of people who use or abuse the social media sites?
You just said that, though, and all my red flags went off because I'm going, that's exactly what you don't want the kids to post.
Yeah.
And that's actually part of that conversation that we went back to. They should never be posting, when they're leaving and how long they're going to be gone and where they're going for all the obvious reasons. But guess what? They don't get that. They really don't. And we could tell them that all day long, but we're going to have to not only tell them but show them, because when we're on the internet and the social media, tools and sites that we're on, we see all of those same problems. But obviously, we're a little bit more savvy to that, and we pause and we ask the questions. They don't. They're just ready to go. They're full on, full out ready. And if it's on the internet, it must be true.
Yeah. In my opinion, the internet is the biggest cesspool that man has ever created.
Well, I don't think you're alone in that, because we haven't even talked about, which also creates a lot of the cyberbullying. We haven't talked about the, sexting and all of the pornography that's available and, what they're exposed to now, that they may never have been exposed to, or they certainly would have been exposed to it at a much later age.
And when it comes to, the online dating services, my Lord, I think that 90%, what was the stat, Craig? 76% of all people who go on internet dating services lie. 76%.
I'd probably say that's probably low. We had, I'm in the Tampa Bay area of Florida, and just yesterday, they had a cyber sting operation where people were trying to do the bit. It was a sexual predator issue.
Oh, gosh.
But they had in a 3-hour period of time, over 100 arrests. And this is what's out there. It's not just you hear the stories. It's out there and it's very prevalent. So, these are the things that we really have to talk to them about. They try to do the stuff behind our back, and they're opening up doors that they have no idea what's behind that door.
Nile, stand by. You and I have to take our news break at the bottom of the hour. Nile Nickel is our special guest. Exxon Nation, www.nilenickel.com. That's NILENICKEL.com. We're talking about the social media. Is it really sociable? I don't know. I like talking to people. I like writing letters. I like picking up the phone. I don't think kids should be allowed to use the social media, period. We'll be back on the other side of this break. Don't go away. My name is Rob McConnell, and I would like to tell you about a very special lady that I have the pleasure of knowing, and that's Miss Sylvia Anthony. Sylvia Anthony believes the golden years are a time to gear up and get busy, not relax and take it easy. She has faced many hardships in her 84 years, but they have made her stronger and more determined. As founder and president of Sylvia's Haven, a shelter for women and their children near Boston, Sylvia has helped transform over 1,086 lives in the past 27 years, not only with housing, but also providing direction as to where they can go to develop the earning skills they want and need to live free from difficult domestic situations. Sylvia's Haven is everything to Sylvia Anthony, even calling it her magnificent obsession. Women who qualify for the program at Sylvia's Haven receive assistance via guidance counselors to find the appropriate job opportunity. Women and their children may remain at the housing for up to 2 years. At the end of this time, or sooner, a woman who is successfully employed and has an apartment or home may leave Sylvia's Haven to begin a new and independent life. Now this is where you come in to help make Sylvia's dream into a reality. Sylvia's dream is to have a Sylvia's Haven in every state to help as many women and their children as she can, and to help this dream come true. A crowdfunding site has been established which can be accessed at www.sylviasdream.org. Now that's www.sylviasdream.org. With your financial help and support, Sylvia Anthony will continue to help those in their time of need, not only in the Boston area, but with her dream of having a Sylvia's Haven in every state of the United States. Your help is needed to make Sylvia's dream come true. Please visit and give at www.sylviasdream.org. Once again, www.sylviasdream.org. And remember, the only difference between a dream and reality is just doing it. We need your help to make Sylvia's dream come true. Visit www.sylviasdream.org. Once again, www.sylviasdream.org. For the X Zone Radio TV show and the X Chronicles newspaper, I am Rob McConnell.
This is the X Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Nile Nickel is my guest this hour, Exonation, www.nilenickel.com. He's a technology expert, LinkedIn expert, and social media specialist. You know, Nile, I think that we as parents really don't control or are not in charge of our kids. I think it's the high-tech companies that are raising our kids. You know, do kids who go to elementary school or go to school, do they really need to take a cell phone with them? Do they really need an iPad? Do they really need to lose the art of communication? Do you have to bring your cell phone to the kitchen table when you're having a meal? Do you really need to use your cell phone when you're out with your family or friends when you're at a restaurant? What is going to happen to society based on this high technology that everyone wants?
You know, the thing that you just brought up there, first off, I agree with. But, you know, I'm going to throw out something that, you know, at least all of us with young children have done, and we don't think about it at the time, is, you know, there are a lot of engaging games, teaching tools, and all of that we could give our kids now on iPads. And lo and behold, you know, I've seen 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old kids that now have that iPad attached to them, and that becomes sort of the virtual babysitter. You know, we're trying to conduct a meeting, we're taking our kids somewhere, trying to have dinner, and you know, they're being distracting. They're trying to talk with us. They're carrying on like children do. So what do? We turn on the iPad or hand them our iPhone or whatever and let them get engaged in a game.
Isn't that being a poor parent?
Yeah, I agree. You know, but I know, you know, personally I've done that. And what we don't think about when we do that is, you know, we are putting them right in line to go down that line and start playing on all of these social media tools. You know, at some point in time, they want to get beyond, you know, playing the game alone, and they want to start playing games with other kids. They want to start chatting with other kids online and all of that. So you see how it is a slippery slope. And
well, I think it's only a slippery slope because parents don't want to take responsibility for their actions. They don't want to say no to their children. They don't want to hear the children have a ranting tantrum. It's easier to give in than to be a parent these days.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And as I said, I know I've got an 8-year-old and I've got a 10-year-old. I've been guilty of it. And guess what? You know, I'm the one talking to you about all the statistics,
Mm-hmm.
and the statistics scare me to death.